What's your excuse? So, bakit meron tayong question, what's your excuse? Because not all of the people, as I have said, no, 8 billion people in the planet Earth, kung may nadagdag pa na data, are not really having that or experiencing that life to its fullness or satisfaction or sense of satisfaction. And a lot are depressed and grabe no, sobrang daming work pero wala namang narating. Ang daming pinuntahan pero walang narating. So, still again, this is part of our identity issue series and we entitled this What's Your Excuse? Everyone can think of a reason for why they are not good enough, brave enough, smart enough, or connected enough. No, yung mga nagsusolo. Excuses are easy to find and they are completely detrimental to fulfilling your purpose as a leader with the Dominion mandate. So sa mga followers natin for the past weeks and months already that we were talking about identity issues, purpose, vision, our dominion or authority. So I'm sure you can relate to me. You can relate what I will be sharing tonight. No, so we need to act, we need to really experience what it means to be in the kingdom and to have that authority and that dominion. But a lot of people, sad to say, are not really experiencing because of so many excuses. Our goal no, tonight in this topic is to identify that excuses of ours and demolish those excuses so that we can explore the reality that everyone is born to be a leader in the area of their giftings and talents. No? So lahat tayo, you have to realize that you are fully loaded. If you can only watch the video of the blogger in China, it's hard to pronounce her name, Lizzie Key, no? You just watch it by yourself. Grabe, talagang everyday may na-unleash na potential sa kanya. She lives in the mountain, though she's a city girl. But then, when she went back to the mountain with her lola, she really explored what's in her home, kung ano yung meron siya, no? From fruit bearing, planting, gardening, DIY, no? Kung ano yung pinanggagawa niya, cooking, lahat. Gumagawa din siya ng ano, ng damit, ng ano yung tawag yan, yung comfort, ano, beddings, no? So, ang daming nagagawa and I realized that indeed what we are sharing here is not just a theory, but it's really fact, no? Truth, the truth that comes from the Bible, that we are really fully loaded, you and me, with giftings, talents, and potentials. All we have to do is just to discover that giftings, unleash that potential, no, one at a time. And that is why if we have that understanding and mindset that I am not an ordinary person. I am created, no, in the image and likeness of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. And what is my excuse? Why am I not prospering? Why am I not moving? Why am I not innovating? Why am I not experimenting? I have so many ideas. No? We call it multi-million ideas. Kulang na lang ang implementation and a lot of reasonings and justifications, excuses, no, na dili na to matuman or dili na to mahimo. So, we will demolish all those excuses that will hinder us in fulfilling our destiny so that we can explore the reality that everyone is born to be a leader. So, that in every follower is an untapped leader, no, according to Dr. Miles Monroe. Every follower, every observer, no, inside of her or him is a leadership potential. The potential is within everyone, but people have never maximized their potential or tapped into who they truly are. We are made to lead and designed to dominate. So, first reason why a lot of people are not exercising their authority is number one, ignorance. And we talk about it in our first series sa identity issues. Lack of knowledge. That is why people perish because of lack of knowledge. Ignorance will really kill, and forfeit our purpose and our destiny. And so that is the reason why we are here, because we are sharing this to you as we really receive it We will also freely give it to all of you. This is for free. We need to have learning knowledge in order for us to activate what is inside of us. So the more we get to know our maker, the more we will get to know ourselves because we came from him. He is our source. He is our maker. The original purpose of mankind is leadership. Again, I will repeat. The original purpose of mankind is leadership. We were born to dominate, control, and manage the resources of the earth. But we have lived subservient to the mandate and have mismanaged its resources. And that is why, as you can see, from our life hackers journey and testimonies and their later with their takeaways and even my personal testimonies, no, even though they are so busy in their maybe they're working in the corporate in the company, yet they have so many sidelines, they have so many extra passive income because that's who we are. We can do a lot of things. No one will be left out or will be left behind. Even during this pandemic, during this global crisis, no, we will be exploring with so many things. We will be expanding and we will be getting more extra income. So that's the difference when you understand who you are, when you understand why we are created, no, and what's the purpose why we are here. So we were born to dominate. God blessed them. According to the book of beginning, it says, God blessed them. He said to them, have children and increase your number. So we are called to multiply. And even one statement of Jesus, our King, our Lord, he said, occupy till I come. So what are you waiting for? What is your excuse? We have to occupy, get occupation, get job or extra business or silence as many as you can, as long as you can manage it, as long as there is balance, as long as you know how to run your time. No, so God bless them. He said to them, have children and increase your numbers. Fill the earth. Ako literally, I'm really increasing my numbers, no? But I stop 7 lang kasi it's God's number. Dili na pwede mag-8. So sa mga gusto mag-overtake sa ako, go ahead. As long as kaya ni mo, no? Pastor John and Irish and Aris and Flong, if you can do it, go ahead. Fill the earth and bring it under your control. Rule over the fish in the waters and the birds of the air. Rule over every living creature that moves on the ground. Can you imagine? This is the mandate, this is the gift that was given to us. And take note, as we can see, a lot of people are, instead of dominating, instead of controlling the circumstances and what's in the earth, they are the one being controlled. Like for example, if you are addicted to marijuana or any kind of drugs, so it all of those things comes, it came from the earth. And instead we are the one controlling it, you are the one being controlled. If you are addicted, you don't know how to control anymore. There's no balance anymore, right? So this is our gift that we need to really understand and receive it and enjoy it. God's redemptive program is not about heaven, but it is about earth. We are here on earth, planet earth. Salvation is God salvaging something that went bad, something went wrong. No, when Adam lost the dominion power, when he disobeyed, when there is violation, he lost that power. And that is why Jesus had to come here on earth to salvage that something that went bad. Adam did not fall out from heaven, he lost it, which is the dominion power. What is dominion? Again, I will just recap so that especially those who came here for the first time, you will understand it. Please, the power to rule and reign on the earth here and now. This is what mankind has lost. And this is the reason why all of us, there's this inclination to get that power. There's this inclination to be on the top, to go higher, to be moving forward. But sad to say, no, in the, I mean, a lot of people will be sad or will be hurt because of that craving and longing to have that power because dili siya tama. ang process. It's not really biblical. It's not part of what no our God and our Maker wants us to do. So our assignment is to become the leader you are designed to be, but you must develop it first. So some might say, ha, dili jud ko mo-agree ana ikaw ra gid ang maybe ikaw ra ang leader ako dili ra gid ko ani ra gid ko, but remember, I'm talking about leadership inside of you, the spirit of leadership built in inside of us when God gave us that power of dominion power, when God breathed his very own spirit in us, when he created us. That's the spirit of leadership. And we need to understand that we need to discover it. That is why we have this self discovery in order to see that leadership potential inside of us. That's our assignment. No, we need to develop ourselves so that that spirit of leadership will be unleashed. The world is looking for true leadership that has character and values and ethics. No, there is void of this type of leadership in our world. The world's type of leadership is having fame or certain position or title, right? No, as we can see, ang dami, trying hard to be leaders, maskig, walay alam. Famous athletes, for example, in the form of modeling, no, without being asked whether they have the ability to operate on leadership positions or live a life of character worthy to be followed. Ang daming nag-leader-leaderan sa ating society, not just in our government. I'm not saying all, no, not just in our government, but even in the seven spheres of influence, namely family, no, media, education, arts and entertainment, in our even in the churches, different religions. They are acting as a leader, trying hard to be a leader, but has no leadership positions, no character, no ethics, no values. They're just there leading either someone, a group, or an organization. We have so many trying hard leaders nowadays trying to lead. What qualifies a person? What qualifies a person as a true leader? Is it college degree, teaching on seminar, or even writing a book about leadership, and then you're already a leader? Is that the qualification to be a leader? We will find out. There are specific discipline to practice in order to realize the leadership potential that is already within you. I have met a lot of not just disciples, but friends, colleagues, no, oikos, or people I met na they really are so hungry for leadership position, but they are not willing to go through the process. They are not willing to be disciplined, and that is why you can see around us in our society, mga wala talagang values, walang compassion, walang love, no, walang ethics na type of leaders na atong makita in our society. But that is not the leadership that God wants us to see in our world. Otherwise, ang chaos, ang turmoil, ang brokenness, ang poverty will be inevitable. So, three paths of leadership. We have to learn the three paths of leadership. How are you going to discover or unleash the spirit of leadership inside of you? Built in sa atin. Paano natin ma-identify? Number one, no, this is the process of self-discovery. No, you have to know your maker. Learn about him. And again, as I've said, as you learn to know more about him, you will get to know more of who you are, about yourself. Kasi siya yung gumawa sa atin, siya yung manufacturer, siya yung producer. So alam niya talaga kung paano tayo ginawa, ano yung purpose, paano mag-function yung ating, body, yung ating organ, parts of our body. Ano yung meron tayo, ano yung characteristic natin. Remember, we are created in His image and likeness. The word image there is personality. No, kung anong meron siya. So we are created, no, according to His image. Therefore, the more we will discover our maker, our source, the more we will get to know who we are. And knowing ourselves, will really help us unleash that leadership potential, that spirit of leadership inside of us. You know who you are, why you are here, and what you are going to do. Therefore, you naturally fit into your leadership role. Ang dami mga leader, hindi alam kung anong gawin. Ano yung, hindi nga makapag-plan eh, kasi hindi nila alam kung ano yung vision, ano yung purpose. Right? So, but self-discovery is getting to know our maker, our source, our father, and identify ano yung mga characteristic na nilagay niya sa atin. How we act, how we live, how we talk, no, how we manage everything. Ano yung tawag sa atin? Ano yung meron tayo? Ano yung nilagay niya sa atin? Time bomb ba? Ano yung nilagay niya sa atin? It is a process of self-discovery and it is a lifetime. I'm not saying that we are already there. We are still in work in progress. But it's so exciting, no? It's so exciting. Ang daming nangyayari. And you will wake up every morning excited. You will wake up every morning, you're looking forward to discover of more of yourself. Ano pa yung pwede nating magawa? Number two. So ano yung number one? Self-discovery. Ano yung number two? Crisis or circumstances. May mga pangyayari just like me. That's my experience when I came from a broken family. I work as a working student, and then I really tried so hard to working so hard to really earn and to be rich. And because of that circumstances, because of that crisis na ako na experience, it burdens me to see, poverty. It burdens me to see corruption because we are a product, no? Pag corrupt ang government, pag disorder ang society, automatic, no? Dissolution and disorder pod ang next generation, right? And so crisis and circumstances will usher us into that leadership spirit, into that leadership potential. Lalabas talaga yung leadership skills and talents natin if may mga unlikable circumstances. Nelson Mandela, no, he did not seek to be called a leader. He took a stand for something he believed in, equality in his nation, and people followed him. Something that you cannot stand for. You cannot just watch and see. Something that burdens your heart, that crying out of your heart, crisis, circumstances that will unleash that leadership potential. So another, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., no? He never sought to become the leader. He is a lawyer. He never sought to become the leader of civil rights movements no, sa mga racism, black. But he saw a problem and he demanded equality. So what is that one thing that burdens you, that you cannot just sit down, that you cannot stand? No? Ano yung crisis? Poverty, corruption, sickness, illness, I mean, disorders sa family, factions. So, crisis and circumstances. Number three, intentional leadership training. Ano yung number one? The process of discovering your leadership potential. It is self-discovery. Number two, circumstances. Number three, intentional leadership training. This is why we have life hacks. This is where Destiny Marketplace Radicals, you know, um, came in because we want to educate as we are being educated with the knowledge of the gospel of the kingdom. We want to educate everyone, those who are hungry, to those who are thirsty, to those who wanted to have that knowledge and education. We want to help them, usher them in really allowing themselves to be in their self-discovery. No, so we call this school of influence. We may be able to understand, our purpose and our dominion. Thus, we can create an impact because ang success is inevitable. So people will become attracted to us, and we will start to create an impact, and we will influence not just our family, not just the people around us, but the seven spheres of influence. So leaders from the Bible who are simple people from defective homes, no? Mga atong himuong example tonight. Unfavorable circumstances and environments and oppressive conditions, yet they became a leader and a mighty valor in their time. So we want to destroy the belief that only a few people are qualified to lead and that the only people who can lead are those who have degrees and are from a certain class. Jesus has a different philosophy of leadership. He is our model, he is our pattern, and that is why we are following him. One of the character in the Bible who has low self-esteem is Moses. He had some excuses when the Lord called him to lead the Israelites. He had a low self-esteem problem in Exodus chapter 4:10. He said, I am nobody. I stutter, and I don't even know how to speak right. I am not that confident in myself. Makarelate ba ta ani? No? Ako personally, I can really relate. No, I'm so scared and I'm so insecure. I am so I am so afraid with crowd and people, and I don't want to talk to anyone because I am nobody, and I don't know what I don't know how to speak, and I am not confident in myself. So this is one of the, but Moses, right? He lead the Israelites into the promised land. He is very famous, and he really had his name in the Bible because of what he did. Another one is Gideon, Judges 6:15, describes as coward, no? And the least renowned in his clan. He said, "But I am the least in my clan." When the angel, came in front of him and asked him actually to lead the people Israelites. I'm nobody. I'm the youngest. My family is the least of the society. But take note, all of these were just excuses. Why? Because the maker, the source, knew, no, how are we being made? That we are not just nobody. We are not just someone na walang capacity. So it's just an excuses. And therefore, God said to him through the angel, the mighty man of valor. Are you there? Maybe you're so down tonight. Maybe you are so insecure. Maybe you're so depressed and don't know what to do. Maybe you are disappointed. Maybe you lost that hope. Maybe you don't have dreams anymore. But I want to tell you that our maker, our source, will tell you, mighty man of valor, you can do it. You are an extraordinary person. You are not an accident. You are somebody in his eyes. You are capable of so many things. You are fully loaded. You have full of creativities and ideas inside of you, loaded with potential. No? So our minds are conditioned to believe what our parents had said or what other people had told about us. Di na lang katama, no? Di ka mo graduate, di ka pwede maartista, imong ilong, no? Bugo kay ka, no? So our minds are being conditioned with that statements, with that words, maybe from our families, colleagues, friends, or maybe in our, you know, environment. So most of the time, it's easy to believe what other people may say about us than what God has to say about us. That is why we need to really learn and discover what our Maker said about us. Ani na siya mag-function. In ani na ay 7 eh. Muna yung hard disk. 1 terabyte ang sulod ani. You are more than 1 terabyte. No? Ang ato ang brain. Ang imuhang density ba tawag ana? Highly powered. Elijah, another one in the Bible, was excuses. He was moody. No, kaila kag melancholy si Moses. Melancholy pud si Moses, no? And then si Gideon, talawan, si Elijah, kani grabe gini kamilan, uy. Kani siya ang naay suicidal spirit. Hikog na lang ko, patsa na lang ko. He was so moody like me. He would get depressed and feel sorry for himself. No? Gabi mag-self-pity, dili na mo tingog. Pila ka adlaw, maglumlum, lumlumers. Naba mo diha. Love to have self-pity. Man, can you imagine si Elijah if you will just check his story in the Bible? 40 days kaya siya nagdagan. May na lang ng uban kay 1 week lang magtago. 3 days. Di magpakita ako ba man na nagpakita, no? Nag-emo. Love to have self-pity and always blame their condition. Kita kang i-blame ang mga leaders, ang mentor, ang church, family. Dagan ba makarelate ani? Na suicidal spirit and love to blame others. Love to blame their condition. Why am I like this? Ganong ani ko, ganong inani ko. Elijah. So many excuses. Depression does not cancel your leadership capacity. You must cancel your depression. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. Do not surround yourself with people who are downers, who doesn't have hope, who will dictate you with wrong perspective and wrong or negative thinking or negative thoughts. But surround yourself with people who believe in you, will uplift your spirit. And that is why Destiny Marketplace Radical exists. That is why Life Hacks exists. That is why Sisliness Tower SOD exists for the next generation. We are here to support, we are here to help, we are here to back you up. So cancel your depression. We are called beyond excuses. So what is your excuse? Joseph the dreamer, one of the famous in the Bible, not just for the children, but for the adults, the dreamers. He lived in an oppressive state, if you are familiar with his story, and came from an oppressive family and culture. We use this kind of excuses to justify our laziness. Akong mama, akong papa, akong mga brothers and sisters. We justify our laziness, no, by this experience or circumstances, family background. So what dream did you have when you were 12 years old? Ano din yung mga pangarap nyo when you are in that age, 12 years old? I want to be, what is your dream? What do you want to be? I want to be so hold on to that dream. So hold on to that dream. Revelation of our identity is very, very important. That is why for the past weeks and months already that we are talking about identity issues because this is one of the common and very number one cause of the problem why we are not moving forward. An individual can have an education and career, but if they do not have a revelation of their identity, they will be depressed, they will be incomplete inside. 'Di ba? Ang daming ko tumatanda na, aral pa rin ang aral, nag-doctorate na, nag-masteral, kung ano-ano na lang doctorate na kinuha, yet still empty. Hindi pa rin satisfied, incomplete inside. Why? Because they're full of insecurities. Hindi nila alam kung anong mangyayari next. So, they don't have a revelation of their identity. Self-discovery is important before you are educated. After you discover who you are, then you can refine yourself through your education, not the opposite around. Kaya ang dami mga professional, ang dami mga ang gagaling, pero walang revelation about who they are, they ended up miserable. Sobrang bright, sa sobra ka bright, di na masabta ng batasan. No? So self-discovery is important before you are educated. Because after you discover who you are, that's where you can refine yourself through your education. The greatest discovery in life is your identity. Whatever is your condition right now does not matter as long as you know where you are going. The reason for dreams and visions is self-discovery. Diba pag may nakikita ka and then you have that dreams, gusto mong marating, diba ang process grabe and you are willing to pay the price. That's self-discovery. Jeremiah, another one person in the Bible, he was intimidated and doesn't know He quoted that it's his statement, the famous statement, "For I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord, plans to give you hope and a good future." It's his statement, Jeremiah. But guess what? Before that, he was so intimidated and doesn't know who he is, full of insecurity. No, God had to introduce himself to him, the Jeremiah to himself. God has to put the words in his mouth. That is why we have this encounter or destiny weekend. We have to encounter our maker, our source, and then we will encounter ourselves. That's what happened to Jeremiah. God had to introduce himself to him, and then Jeremiah to himself. God allows you to meet him so you can meet yourself. When you discover who you are, that's where a leader is born. God will equip you of what you need to fulfill your assignment on earth, including the power and authority to rule and reign here on earth. We don't need to look anywhere except inside ourselves. Wow! Kung saan-saan na napupunta ang mga branded na mga material things, ilang bahay, ilang sasakyan, ilang negosyo, kung saan-saan na inikot ang mundo, and yet, hindi pa rin masaya. Bakit? Why? Because we have to look, that leadership or spirit of leadership inside ourselves, not anywhere. Last but not the least, Peter, the choleric. He had a low concept of himself, just like us. Pero grabe to ka-aggressive, no? A picture that we have formed since childhood, not really knowing who we are. The feeling of unworthiness. A feeling that you don't deserve God's best for you. And the amazing life He has planned for you. Kada bang, okay lang, sige lang, okay na ako. Pero ang okay ay hindi okay. Tama ba, Pastor Marlene? Ang okay ay hindi okay. That feeling of unworthiness. Let's not be confused with the feeling of unworthiness with humility, because it's not humility. It's lack of understanding of who you are and your capability. Unworthiness with humility, or confidence with arrogance. It's not being arrogant when you claim that, next year I'm gonna build my house, my dream house. Next year I'm gonna buy a car. Because you know the purpose of that car. You know the purpose of that big house. You know the purpose of millions that you are asking and desiring for. You know the purpose of leadership. Why you want to put up a business, why you want to have to earn a lot, why you have to build an organization or a group. You know the purpose because you know your maker, you know who you are. So it's not being arrogant, it's being confident. I am confident because my maker, my God, is so big. He's so huge, more than Bill Gates and any multimillionaire in the world. He said, one of his famous verses said, greater things. Jesus himself said, greater things that I do, you can do. Can you imagine? Can you picture? Greater things that I do, you can do. What did Jesus did in his time? Heal the sick, raise up the dead, curse the fig tree, stop the storm. What else? Multiply the bread. If you can multiply the bread, you can limit the ref and increase the grocery in your, storage, and get the wisdom that we need in order to produce wealth. That's who we are. So, Matthew 22:39. Dito ako mag-end kasi sobrang haba. We will have our part 2 in this, What's Your Excuse? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. This is a very important statement of Jesus. It may sound selfish, but Jesus was very clear. You can only love others to the degree that of how you love yourself. You are the offspring of God Himself. You are somebody. You are extraordinary. You are fully loaded with potential. You can do great things, mighty things ahead in your lifetime. You can create a lot of things. Hindi lang cooking, hindi lang planting, hindi lang singing, dancing. Discover that potentials inside of us. We can, yun si Lizzie G, Chinese girl, di mo siya nagsasalita. Bilyon sa peso na ang earning niya. Di siya nagsasalita sa YouTube.
pinapakita niya lang kung ano yung ginagawa niya, cooking, kung ano-ano pa yun. You just search it in YouTube, ma-amaze ka talaga. And fruit bearing around her, trees around her. Nung gusto yung kumain ng mangga, ng orange, ng grapes, ng strawberry, andyan lang. She just planted it. So we will not end up plantita only. We will soar high. We will discover more of what we can do because our God is great and He is big and He made us. Amen. So that's the end of our topic. And next, we will be talking about what's your excuse, part 2. And we will talk about confidence. No? Na walay lugar ang excuses. So we can really soar high even um amidst pandemic, global crisis. There's no crisis in the kingdom. We will be having plenty, overflowing. You can see as our life hackers will share their journey and their testimony of how they apply these principles to the identity, how they discover themselves, how they went through in the discovery, self-discovery, how they went through in the intentional training program, how they went through no in that understanding of who our maker and who we are in his eyes. So back to you, twins, Kicking and Desiree.